Good morning. Yesterday we began a Sichah and Likkutei Sichos, and we explained al pi pshat why in Parshas Vayera when Avram Avinu tells the Eibishter when he wants to destroy Sodom and Gomorrah, he tells him Chalila lecha masis kadavar hazeh, and Rashi explains what is Chalila lecha chulun hu lecha. It's mundane for you to do such a thing, because the Umaneseinu, I should say the people are going to say that the way the Eibishter works is that he builds things and then he destroys things. And the Rebbe asked that why is it that in our parsha, when the brothers are caught with the Gviyah, and then Yosef starts accusing them, or the Shliach catches them, and then Yosef starts accusing them that they stole the goblet. So what do they say? Chalila lavadecha masis kadavar hazeh. And Rashi explains, what does it mean Chalila lavadecha? What's this word Chalila? So Rashi says either chulun hu lanu, it's like a lashon gnai, it's a lashon of it's mundane for us. It's a disgraceful thing to do. And then he brought from the Targum that chas v'shalom, are we going to do such a thing? So we explained al pi pshat that in Parshas Vayera it's referring to the Eibishter. So the Eibishter is not shaykh to any mundane matter. So it's already enough to say chulun hu lecha. It's because the Eibishter is b'chal not shaykh to any mundane, etc. However, if Rashi would only touch up chulun lashon ginayhu, it's a disgraceful thing. That doesn't really take away the just chulun lashon chulun. It doesn't really take away the claim of what he's saying, what Yosef is saying. So that's why Rashi has to bring a second explanation of chas lavadecha. Okay, that's what we explained yesterday. Al pi pshat. Now the Rebbe is going to go into the Hira. Ois tesvav, ois dal, chelik tesvav, ois dal. The Rebbe says like this: the Hira and then Pirush Rashi and Avodas Hashem. What's the lesson regarding the avodah, the service of Hashem, based on Rashi's explanation? The Alter Rebbe is mevar in Teda Eir. The Alter Rebbe explains in Teda Eir as b'chinas ha'ovis tzarich liyos b'chol ha'adam. The Alter Rebbe explains that the attribute of the ovis have to be by every single person. Every person has the level of, or should have the level of the attributes of the ovis. Aval shar b'chinas kegen hashvatim yesh toch adam she'ein by klal b'chinas madregas elu. However, the Alter Rebbe says in Teda Eir that in regards to other attributes, for example, those of Yaakov's sons, the Shvatim, some people do possess these attributes or qualities. Some people do not possess these attributes and qualities at all. What's the explanation? Not every, which means that not every Jew is a necessary or necessarily possesses every attribute or unique quality by which each shevet is distinguished. That was special about, it wasn't just 12 Shvatim. It was 12 Shvatim which each one had a unique admila over the other. Over the B'chinas V'inyanim Klalim was Zayin given by alle Shvatim, als Banim from the Avis, Buzen Zayin by Yedin Yidin. However, when it comes to the general attributes and characteristics found in all Shvatim, that must be found in every Jew. So similarly in our context, Vibalas di taina chulun hu lashon gnai is nit komendik von a shevet prati, nor von the shvatim bechalusim. Is move on at the in von chulun hu lanu is neger yedin yidin. Now, when the shvatim are saying all together, it would be chulun for us, and that's an expression of disgrace. It didn't come from any specific brother, but it came from all the brothers collectively. So it's understood that the concept would be chulun for us is by every yid. It's negeh every yid. Ayid dar wissen as kol in yonei muhuse is kedusha. Mit chulun gashmi seine besondere Welten. Bis as das haben zu tun mit gashmis als chulun es far im agenai. Es darf bei ihm seinen ganzen abgefleckt. So a yid has to know that his entire identity and being is kedusha. He and chulun, which is physicality, basically are two worlds. To the extent that relating with the physicality of the world is mundane. It's a disgrace for him. It has to be completely out of the question. It has to be in ganzen abgefragt. This feeling must not be felt solely in a Yid's inner self, nor so it has to not only be in the inner self, but it has to be externally as well. Even the nations of the world should know and be able to discern that chulin is foreign, it's alien to a Jew. Al derech zeh wie geredt frier, as bei die Schwatten is gewen bepashtes, as die Teine von chulin hu lanu, allein is genug haichacha far a goy from Mitzrayim, as bei ze is nicht shaykh hazayin, das says, euch a goy der kennt und weiß, as chulin is far ze, mushlo punkt wie gneve bei andere. Now, as we explained earlier, it's self-evident to Jesus' brothers that when they're responding to the goyim, the Mitzrayim, it would be chulin for us. It's enough proof for the Egyptians, the goyim, that such an act of stealing is unimaginable. Even a goy could recognize and understand that the brothers rejected chulin, just like others reject stealing. When Agam as Teda zogt on, Ayid and Sheshes Yomim Tavid Vasisa Kol Malachtecha, Ayid as Ayid bechel zal zich vernemen mit chulin. Now, even though the Torah says 6 days you shall do work and all your work, during the week a Yid must be involved with chulin. So what does that mean? It's nit die kavon in them as zal zich arablazen zu die chulin. Not that it means that a Yid should go and go down to the chulin. He should lower himself to the chulin. Is the nit kavon in them? So no adrab as soll sei meile sein zu der Dagamatze von chulin shnasai di tarsakedesh. Rather, what's the intent? The intent is that he should elevate the chulin to the level chulin prepared according to the level of purity required for karbonis. This comes through preparing that your entire avodah and all your actions should be for the sake of heaven. Even more so, even more so in all your ways you shall know him. Biz as is zay mekadesh mamish ze veren kodshim kalim unoch hecher kodshim kedoshim. More so in all your ways, which means this process continues until Yid literally takes the chulin and they become first kodshim kalim and then even a higher level to kodshim kedoshim. Morning. Okay, so that's the first lesson. The first lesson is just like the Shvatim told Yosef, or not knowing that it's Yosef, that this idea of accusing us of stealing or whatever, it's chulin, it's a lashon gnai, which means that what the Yirah is that chulin is basically a gnai for us. A Yid and physicality, it's a lashon, it's a disgraceful thing. A Yid is hecher from Gashmis. Okay, hey. Das was a Yid can zukommen zu Azam Madrega, as afilu wenn is vernommen Bershus HaTorah mit Divrei Chulin, is ein ganzer Multiple von sei, bis als als Chulin sein bei ihm, an ihm von Gnai. The idea that a Yid can reach a level on which he's engaged in with Chulin, mundane matters, yet remains completely separate from them, to the extent that he considers them, the Chulin, like altogether so disgraceful. Nemsich es davon, was azoi is es kviyochol bei dem Ebersten, as Yidden, as euch der Eure Likiv, was is be'erech ha'olam is, wird nicht was chas v'shalom in die Olam is. Und es is nicht shaykh chulin chas v'shalom. Now, this idea comes as a result of you have a similar dynamic. What's the dynamic? You see by the Eberster that even the limited God light, which comes to the lower worlds, it's not be'erech the worlds. Even this very high godly light cannot possibly connect with chulin.
It is influenced by the world.
Yeah, Zemut is moving the Adgasha on Akfela and Tanis Avram. That's why, what did Avram say? Chalila lecha masis. Chalila lecha hashefet kol haaretz. What did Avram say? Avram said, he emphasizes Chalila to you to do such a thing, to bring death upon the righteous with the wicked. Which means, chulin to you shall the judge of all the earth. The Likkutei, what's the question? Wenn sie wollt afilu shaykh gewen zu sagen, als der Eibishter schas schon mitten Tages Yeshiv tzedek von Shefet kol haaretz, sag ich move from the garmi to ton kadavar azel ham tzedek in Russia. So seemingly, even if it would be possible, chas v'shalom, to say that Hashem didn't have the integrity and righteousness to be considered a judge of all the earth, it would still be, Hein, so what's the question? Hein, was is the Yisaf chadil l'cha Shefet kol haaretz v'gemer? So the question is, even if you want to say, God forbid, that Hashem doesn't have the integrity to judge the righteousness and to be considered the judge of all the earth, it would still be entirely unreasonable to bring the death upon righteous with wicked. So what is he adding by saying, Chalila to you shall the judge of all the earth? Nor, what does he want to say? Avram was emphasizing, as I feel in the dagger from Hashem kol haaretz, even in the level of the judge of all the earth, the dagger from Likus, which in a place where the Ma'aseh Tachtenim, the dagger Likus, which Ma'aseh Tachtenim is Tefes, sie werden nimmt dort gemishpetin und von dort wird nimmt der Inge von Schar v'Einish. Euch dort hat Chulin kein Shum Sheiches. So what he's saying is, by adding these words, Avram was emphasizing that even the level of the judge of all the earth, in other words, a level of godliness where the behavior of the lowest beings are significant to him, and a level where they are judged and rewarded for punishment, even there, Hashem remains completely disconnected from Chulin. So basically, no connection, no darga in Elikus, even the lowest darga, has a connection to Chulin. Und der Rebbe says, Zei euch bei Ayiden, was ist chedek alekam imam mamish. Als filu, wenn vernimmt sich mit den Yoni Chulin, wird nicht was in See, Pnimis bleibt Muvdal, von See und bis in Anefen Azer Wachendigkeit is by him Adavar Meguna. So therefore the same is true by a Yid, just like by Hashem, there's no level that is Tefes Makim. By Chulin, so too, every Yid who's a Chedek Lekam Mimam Mamish, even when involved in Chulin, he does not get consumed by them, and internally he remains removed from them to the extent that Gashmi is so, he's higher than the Chulin. Und das ist der Dormeguna. Das Kufa ist der Tam, was Sayid hat gekehrt zu übermachen die Chulin, bis als sollen sein Chulin Schnasal, Tarsa Kedish, weil bei Pnimi Yuse ist ganz ein Hecher von Chulin. And internally, a Yid is completely above Chulin, and that's why he can transform the mundane to the degree that it becomes Chulin prepared for the purity prepared for Karbanis. Okay, Vav. Der Ira anal hat euch a Kesher mit Klolistik und Teichen von unserer Parsha. Welches redt sich wegen dem Kates und die letzte Sibis und Murais, welche haben interferiert zu der Jede bepeilt zu Jakob, von Jakob und Wandel Mitzrayim und in dem Golis Mitzrayim was is Reish l'chol HaGolis. Now, the lesson also mentioned above can also relate to the general content of our Parsha, which speaks about the Ketz and the final causes and events that led to the actual descent of Yaakov and his sons into Mitzrayim, and which was the beginning of all future exiles. So Yedua der Pisken von Rabbi Sinus Seinu, als nur unsere Gufim seien übergegeben in Golas zu Shibim Mitzrayim, aber unsere Neshames hat man in Golas nicht vertrieben und in Shibim Malchi ist nicht übergegeben. So it's known what the Frierdiker Rebbe says, that our bodies alone were consigned to Golas and subjugated to the nations of the world, but our Neshames, nor can the nations of the world subjugate our Neshamis. Und die Rebbe kann Golos haben a Shlita if a Yidin nur demot. Wenn Guf in Yonim Gashmus haben bei ihm a Tfisis Mokum. Aber Shasse seinen bei ihm nicht Tfisis Mokum, nur Adra bechul Noshen Gnai, aber bei ihm ist mehr Gila seine Neshama, was hat den ganzen Kind Sheiches nicht zu Yoni Chulen, demot hat auf ihm ist der Golos nicht Shlita. So when does Gashmis have a connection, have a Shlita over a person? That's when Gashmis is Tfisis Mokum. But when a person is higher than Gashmis, it's a chul, it's disgraceful. So Gashmi says no tefis makom over a person. Yishleimer as das is euch der Tam Pnimi was die letzte Passierung, was hat gegeben die Yedide des Yaakov gewonnen, aber Mitzrayim ist gewesen, was das was man hat bei die Schwatim gefunden dem Gewiya Kesef. Now we can also explain the deeper reason why the final event that led Yaakov and his sons down to Mitzrayim was the discovery of the silver goblet amongst the belongings of Yaakov's sons. From Galus und Shibud Malchus can nicht schel sein, if Yidden Seiden, wenn es ist bei Zeh, da, lechol habachas epes achesarn in dem Hergisch von Chul und Loschen Gnei. Das, was Zeh sein nicht schon geworden zu haben, bei sich dem Gewiya Kesef, a viele Shalei B'Yidiyosam, ist ein Beweis auf a gewisse Chesarn. In Zeher Hergisch Shlila von Chul. Al derech Yidu, als mit Tzad, die Neshama von Yidden ist nicht Shaykh, soll over sein, so the reason why this is the last thing is because the fact that this happened to them is because they had epis achesarn in the idea of that the world is chulin. So that's so, and what the Hira is telling us that in order for Gashmis not to be tefis makam by a person, the entire chulin has to be in ganzen abgefrekt. And then once he has that, then he could be successful. Have a good day.